and welcome to my channel. My name is Shell and this is my 13th weigh-in at Slimming World, and 13 is not unlucky for me because I lost a pound this week, so I was really pleased, taking my total now to 1 stone 12.5 pounds. So if I can just lose 1.5 pounds next week, which is a bit of a stretch for me, I usually lose a pound or half a pound, I get my 2 stone award. I would love to have that, so I'm going to try to aim for it without being too restrictive and see what happens. But I would so love to have it, but I think it's probably going to be 2 weeks, but we'll see. Small class again today, but very nice class. We had 3 new members coming back and a couple of other people that had been for a while but hadn't come into class, so it was nice to see them again. And I got Slimmer of the Week this week. There's my certificate, Slimmer of the Week. It wasn't too difficult because there was only about 4 or 5 of us that stayed to image therapy, and I don't think anybody else had lost this week. A lot of people are struggling. I think with the cold weather coming in and the kids going back to school, everything's being thrown out. I think a lot of people are struggling. So I get the Slimmer of the Week. I got this tiny little apple. Look at that, it's fantastic. That'll go just nice in a salad. It's just perfect. I got punnet of raspberries, my favourite. I love raspberries. I'll be enjoying those tonight at 10 o'clock. A tin of carrots. I never buy carrots for myself, but since I've had it twice in the Slimmer of the Week, I've quite got into them. Really nice, and of course they're speed food, which I didn't really realise for a long time. They don't feel like a speed food. And I'm not quite sure which way this goes round, pasta and sauce, but it's chicken and mushrooms, so I won't be eating that. I'll probably put it back in the Slimmer of the Week next week. I don't know if it's actually got any chicken in it, but we read down the ingredients and stopped at whey powder, so that was the end of that. So I'll put that in the Slimmer of the Week next week. But the best thing that I got is this, baby. It's a courgette, but Andy says it's bright yellow. He said it looks like a headless rubber duck. But it's fantastic. It feels lovely. It's really firm, and yeah. So the lady that was sitting next to me grew it in her allotment, which I think is fantastic. I'd love to have an allotment, but I'm no good at gardening, so that's the end of that. So I was pleased with that, and I just thought I'd run down with what I ate this week because I've had a different week this week. Normally, as I said last week, I changed things around. I went from eating nearly all speed food and protein to going back to more normal meals. So last Friday I had half a tin of chickpea dal, which is the one from Morrison's, which is free. Now for a free food, it's really filling. It's thick, it's comforting, nice, really nice thick food. I think half a tin was enough, mixed with the other things. It's a bit on the sweet side though. A lot of things seem to be quite sweet these days, so I'm not sure if you don't like sweet things, but I liked it. But I think it definitely needs watering down with a bit of water and some vegetables, otherwise it's too rich. So I had half a tin of that. I had basmati rice, 125 grams, a nice big pile of leeks, and 4 Quorn nuggets. The vegan Quorn nuggets are only half a sin each. I think that's brilliant. So that was for my dinner. Every morning for my breakfast I had an apple, 40 grams of oats for my healthy extra B. I had 10 grams of nuts for 3 sins and 10 grams of chia seeds for 2 sins, a 5 sin breakfast. And the first 3 days for my dinner I had lentil and vegetable soup, and the next days to the end of the week I had salad and vegan Quorn pieces. So that was every dinner time. So these are just going to be evening meals now. And then for my supper I had 150 grams of watermelon. No, sorry, 450 grams of watermelon, nice big portion, and 2 squares of dark chocolate, which took my sins to 9 for the day. On Saturday I had the other half of the tin of chickpea dal, but I had it with pasta, some stirred fried veggies, and 2 fried sausages. Fried sausages, they're quite big and you get 2 for half a sin. That's fantastic. They're not massively filling sausages, but I like them. They're very tasty, and 2 for half a sin is great. For supper I had, well now this is where things started to go wrong. Saturday night I stayed up talking to my friends on the internet till nearly 3 in the morning, and I had a really good night. But I'm not good at staying up late at night. If I stay up late at night, the next day I really suffer. I feel all tetchy and grumpy and tired and hungry. So I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning with my mates, and everyone else was having a drink. And you know what it's like when everyone else is having a drink and you're sitting there with your coffee. So I thought, right, I'm going to join in. And it's the first drink I've had since starting Slimming World, and I had a 35ml glass of Jägermeister, which is 7 Sins. And I so enjoyed it. It was lovely, and I had a really brilliant evening. So that took my sins to 14.5 sins for that day. I got up on Sunday morning, as I said, feeling grumpy, feeling tired, feeling hungry. And so I had my normal breakfast, normal dinner, and then things went a bit wrong. I snacked on, which is totally against my rules, 4 fries sausages. I just ate them between dinner and tea. I had 2 and I thought, well, that'll satisfy me, but they just made me want more. So I had another one, then I had another one. And then it was tea time, and I was still hungry at tea time. Oh, and I had as well 2 crisps and a peanut in the afternoon, so you can see how right things went. And then for tea, I had the most enormous pile of Slimming World chips. I had a corn-breaded fillet for 2.5 sins and a big pile of cauliflower. Now, there's not many sins in that, 2.5 sins in a meal, but it was an enormous meal. I'm telling you, it wasn't what I should be eating, a meal of that size. When I finished, and because I'd eaten those 4 sausages in the afternoon, I could hardly stand up. I was that full. I couldn't stand up straight because my stomach was that full. Which is all wrong. And then in the evening, I didn't eat anything after that. Till my supper, I had 2 squares of dark chocolate. So I still finished the day on 14.5 sins, which is fine, 14.5 sins. But I just ate so much food. It was. I felt really bad about it. But then again, I wouldn't have changed it. I still would have stayed up late talking to my mates and having my glass of Jägermeister the night before. So, that's just, just have to pay for it. So Monday, back on plan Monday. For tea I had pasta, veg and half a block of tofu, which is a smoked tofu with almonds and sesame seeds. It's 2.5 sins for half a block. So I had that for tea, which was nice. 2 squares of dark chocolate for supper, finishing the day on 10 sins. On Tuesday, I had baked potato, a snack pot of baked beans, 2 Linda McCartney rosemary and I think it's red onion sausages, which are free, and cauliflower. So that was a good meal, and I didn't overeat. I went back to normal sized portions, just a baked potato, as they say, about the size of your fist. And for supper, 10 o'clock, 2 squares of dark chocolate, finishing the day on just 7 sins. And then Wednesday I had a vegetable chilli, which I made myself from all Speed Food veggies really. Loads of tomatoes, red kidney beans, and one of those packet sauces you buy, the dry packet in a pouch that's like this sort of thing, but it's just got the seasonings in. Now they have got sins in, but I'm not sure exactly what. I think it's about 4 sins for a packet. And I put 2 packets in my chilli, and it made 10 meals altogether. It was a massive vat of chilli. So I'm not sure what you'd say for sins for the chilli that I had. It was probably one sin, 2 sins, something like that. So anyway, there we go. Veg chilli, rice. I had 150 grams of rice, 5 corn nuggets, 5 of the vegan corn nuggets, which are half a sin each. In the evening, 2 squares of dark chocolate, so finishing the day on 11.5 sins. And Thursday, the last day, I had a baked potato again, beans, corn fillet for 2.5 sins, and a load of cauliflower. One of my favourite meals, that's really filling. I like to mash it all in together, and it was a really nice meal. And 10 o'clock, 2 squares of dark chocolate, so finishing the day on 9.5 sins. So that's my week. That's the food that I've eaten. Quite different from previous weeks, but I enjoyed it. It was filling, and I still lost a pound, even though I overate on the Speed Food on Sunday. So, you know, I've never gone over my sins at all. I did break my golden rule of not snacking between meals on the Sunday. I was quite cross with myself for eating those sausages, 4 sausages just for nothing. So, but I think I needed them. It was you know, I was tired and tetchy, so I think it helped. Anyway, that's my week. I hope everyone else has had a good week. I look forward to finding out how everyone's got on their videos. I always watch everyone's videos during the week whilst I'm having my breakfast in the morning. It sets me up for the day. Already start thinking about Slimming World whilst having a Slimming World breakfast, and it's good. So I'll see everybody next week, and I'll try and make the two stone award, but I don't hold out much hope. But I'll be closer to it, hopefully. So see you next week. Bye!